Delta math topic, simple probability, level 1. This is the section that has a lot of information and it feels really overwhelming at first, but don't feel overwhelmed. Just take a deep breath, you'll be fine. Bashir recorded the grade level and instrument of everyone in the middle school of Rock below. Middle School of Rock. Okay. That's cool. Middle School of Rock. That's not our school, but you know, whatevs. We're still cool too, guys. All right, 7th grade and 8th grade. So he's like, oh yeah, here's the instruments, here's the students for 7th and 8th grade. Okay. So we're looking at some different populations. We could look at the 7th grade population, the 8th grade population, the whole school population. We could look at all the drum players, all the guitar players. There's lots of different populations. So you have to look at your question really carefully and see what population they're talking about. So it says, based off these results, express the probability that a 7th grader, there's our population, chosen at random will play the keyboard as a fraction in simplest form. Always, always, always reduce your fractions when you're talking about probability. So you look at your 7th graders and you look in the room, you're looking around this room, you're like, oh, there's the guitar players hanging out, there's the 8 bass players, some 10 drummers back there, and there's 9 keyboardists. Add all those up. How many 7th graders do we have? And you're only looking for the keyboard people. So that's 9 out of the whole group of 7th graders. Okay, so in the explanation, okay, they have kind of a lot of explanation on Delta math, but you add up all those students, okay, 35 of them all together hanging out in that rock and roll room that they got there. 9 of them are keyboardists. So 9 out of 35 is the probability that one of them randomly chosen is going to be a keyboard player. Okay. And another question, it says, in a popular online role-playing game, players blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you really don't need to read all of this. I'm sorry that I'm just now getting it on the screen. Honestly, I would skip through reading all of that. I mean, if you're in a hurry, in a lot of the test-taking strategies, you don't need to read everything unless you're confused. Then definitely go back. You can get a quick sense if you know the type of problem, like, okay, these are all the people. No costume, one costume, more than one costume. Okay, so look at my question. Based on the results, what's the probability? What are my chances that the next person will purchase exactly one costume? Okay, here are my one costume people. 3 out of all these people. So add them all up, and 3 out of that total is going to give you the answer. Okay, if you added them all up, it's 136 possible people, visitors. Okay, and I'm almost regretting what I said earlier. Maybe you should read and make sure that you've got the right population right there. But 3 of them were exactly one costume right here. Okay, so 3 out of that total of people is going to be 136. Oh, and you cannot reduce that. So you have to just always make sure. The next one and last one on this topic that I'm going to do is says a spinner is divided into 5 color sections that are not of equal size. Red, blue, green, blah, blah, blah. The spinner is spun several times and the results are recorded below. They're not of equal size. That's just frustrating. But the frequency is given here, so that's helpful. Okay. 2, 13, 14, 13, and 8. So you want to combine all of those. We're looking for red. Red is our goal. Okay, so if you added all those frequencies up, so you could see like how common it would be, like how much space on that spinner basically would be dedicated to that color. Not as much as red, right? Red's the smallest chunk. Green's going to have the biggest chunk. Today, by the way, is St. Patrick's Day, so that's appropriate for me anyway, not for you probably when you're watching this. But if you add up all of those different colors, those frequencies on that spinner, that's 50, and we're just looking for the red. So 2 out of 50 is our probability, 1 out of 25 if you made it a fraction form, but they told us to put it in decimal form to the nearest hundredth. So you just do 2 divided by 50 or 1 divided by 25, because it's the same thing, and you would get 0.04, which is exactly, it's to the 100th, 2 decimal places out, right? And so your answer is 0.014. Good luck.